But I am saying that how they go about their beef is very unique.
Women. Coffee emoji. Hello YouTube, my name is Kitsunero and today we are watching Depressed Nousagi. I remember actually, like off topic, someone in my comments was like, why are you pronouncing it Depressed Nousagi instead of Depressed Nousagi? Because he pronounced it that way himself. He called himself Nousagi. There you go. You've been addressed, random commentary on YouTube. Either way, Meangirl! I promise this is actually not a drama video itself, but it's about why there are mean girls in VTubing. Bear with me, I promise it's a good watch.
There is a saying, there is no one who hates women more than other women. And
True. True.
And at first glance, you might think that's very sexist, and maybe it is. It's a very
It's not. Oops, my bad.
generalized quote, within the same realm as never ask a white supremacist the color of their girlfriend. I think both are funny, but I think both also has a bit of truth in them, especially in the fierce, mentally ill, female-dominated industry that is VTubing. See, in VTubing,
It's both because I exist, no way.
there are two types of Google Docs. X-person is a pest, usually a man,
Oh,
or
God.
X-person is a bully, usually a woman. Thus, why mean girls are hot topic trend these days.
Shit, I'll tell you why there's so many mean girls in VTubing. Why there's so much drama in VTubing. It's 1, women. 2, there's the mask of VTubing. We're already anonymous, and now we're extra anonymous, so we're more unhinged. Also, women are less confrontational usually, so they're more talking behind closed doors, you know what I mean?
And while we usually want to take the past allegations a lot more seriously, the mean girl allegations are a lot more fun to talk about. Because not only can we the mean girl, we can also have the right to be misogynist. The idea that Google Docies
Bro, the cut! No, not that cut! Oh my god. Oh my god, what was her name? Zaza?
exposing other
Jesus.
creators being bullies are so common in this space is very
The wipe check. Wipe check!
interesting to me. In fact, it's a lot more common than the Twitch streamer culture. When it comes to the Twitch streamer sphere, I've noticed that people that don't like each other usually just don't talk to each other or proactively on them in public.
Yeah, usually they ignore each other. Sometimes there's like a comment about each other if there's like a hot topic going on, right? But like usually
Their
they
beef
just...
are for the world to see and consume popcorns too. In VTubing, it's a lot more hush-hush or more passive-aggressive, especially if it's coming from a generally respected content creator. Nobody usually wants to say anything until a Google Docie comes out, then all of a sudden, like
All of a sudden, dam's broken.
goddamn locusts, everyone reveals that they actually had some bad experience or two.
You know what's so funny about the real commoner stuff? I dodged a bullet myself with that guy. I didn't really interact with him. Not much. Oh my god, what was it? Like, I think I texted him once and he ignored me. So I dodged the bullet there.
Everyone actually has a
Which is
problem with
good.
them. And while I understand where this silence comes from if NDAs are involved, but a lot of the time NDAs aren't actually involved or aren't doing jack in these situations. I'm not saying that VTubers have more beef against each other than normal Twitch streamers.
No one, bro. No one beats the beef between those two.
But I am saying that how they go about their beef is very unique. And one has to wonder why this is. Is it because the consequences have a splashback effect? Or is there something a little deeper?
Women. Coffee emoji.
So I tried to do a little thought experiment, figure out the unique factors that makes VTubing different, and whether or not those factors would actually contribute to this very unique phenomenon. And there's really only 2 factors, actually 3 factors, that
One is women.
separate the regular Twitch streamer and VTuber culture. The inherent anonymity present in the roleplay and
Yeah, the being anonymous. Second, women. Third, I actually don't know.
anime aspect, the fact that the industry is smaller,
Smaller,
and the fact
okay, fair
that
enough.
it's dominated by women.
enough.
And I've come to a conclusion that it's these very same factors that actually are the reason for the bullying epidemic. Brace yourself. This is going to be a very, very weird video.
Oh boy. Here
But
we go.
before we continue, may I interest you in other videos not meant for the peasants to see? In that
No
case,
way.
I'd recommend you join my channel memberships or my Patreon. We have monthly exclusive bangers in there as well as uncensored versions of certain content, all ad-free. And besides, you help me keep creating bangers like these in the long term
Bully
with your
McGuire!
support. So if you have some spare change for a cup of coffee every month or something, consider giving it to me instead. Anyway, that's all. Thank you, and let's go back to the video. Okay, I am not a sexist. In fact, I'm a paragon
That's a great step.
of anti-misogyny. Believe me, I have women that are friends. Even my
No
roommate
way.
is a woman. Let's talk about the method of attack VTubers usually employ against each other. Gugodakis. As I
Which is crazy, by the way. Why is it always Google Dockies?
have mentioned, a lot of rumor mongering and Google Docs that goes around men usually talk about their nasty behavior. The most recent big one is the case of Real Kamana,
There
a
it is.
wannabe VTuber CEO that turned out to leverage his connections, falsify or exaggerate his network to appear more authoritative and appealing to work with, and also using this perceived power to try and get under women's pants. It's very predictable, to be honest. From a sexist freak's perspective, the logic is simple. If you want a fish, go where the fishes are. But again,
Makes
and
sense.
among VTubers themselves, it's that they're bullies or mean girls. And more often than not, a lot of victims of these mean
By the way, I heard like I didn't actually want to talk about any specific drama in this video, but I heard Nanolas deleted the doc at this point.
girls
I don't know
are
if
not
that's true.
who and what they usually depict they are. Oftentimes, from the many Google Docs that we've read through in the past years alone, especially accounting the responses against said docs, there is a concerning number of them where the authors of these docies are not the victims that they claim that they are. That they're not clean of the same hostile behaviors that they try to call out, or perhaps they omit information or exaggerate events to paint a worse picture. This is why we've gotten a little bit critical of them. But we're not here to talk about the flawed docky creators, but rather the nature of these dockies. And there's a trend that I've noticed. Most, if not all of these hostile behaviors are not necessarily done via public callouts and open verbal on stream like what many Twitch streamers do. Instead, it's a lot more subtle and insidious. A little something called relational aggression, otherwise known as social aggression. It's a type of psychological bullying where instead of physical or verbal harm that men usually employ, they instead damage a person's relationships,
So the reputation.
reputations, and
Okay.
platform. It
Yeah, that's Chet, what does that sound like? Like women coffee emoji? Women coffee emoji.
usually comes in the form of spreading false rumors, gossiping, social exclusion, or active gaslighting, among many others.
What?
It's basically the domain expansion of manipulation tactics.
Oh.
Now, men are very much capable of relational aggression, but women do it more and do it slightly more aggressively. Studies have shown that more often than not, women actually employ this behavior. Though I should let you know for the sake of good faith that a lot of the research about this also recognize that other factors may impact the results of these studies, such as home life, school environment, and peers. Ages are also wide, ranging from age 7 to college years. Some studies also
Age 7? People start. No, yeah, they do. They do. Of course they do. I was thinking more of like women, and then I was like, no, just children.
suggest that there's no real difference, but there are a lot more studies suggesting that it does, especially in their adolescence. In fact, VTubing itself should be a case study in of itself
Oh, it absolutely should be.
on this specific topic. In any case, let's break down why VTubing is like this. Again, there are 3 factors that make this a common trend in the industry, starting with the fact that VTubing is smaller. In a small pond, there can really only be so much food for the
That's actually insane, like how small, like comparatively, VTubing still is to like the entire streaming scene. Like VTubing in the end still is a niche, with even though we have like thousands and thousands on VTubers, still a niche. Crazy.
big fishes to eat. One of the minor issues are of the character design mixing.
Oh my god, oh no, here we go.
In terms of aesthetics, design elements that have a universal appeal are few and far between, and can leave a smaller pool of combinations for VTubers to want to use, whether they like it themselves or because they think it's the best business trend. And because multiple VTubers use these design limits, they will look at other people having the same,
And they'll be like, oh my god, she copied me. No, she copied me. Bro. I talked about this before, but usually it's Usually, like sometimes, okay, sometimes there are actual studies, cases where people have copied another person. But most of the times, it's just because our brain has pattern recognition. So something that maybe looks like somewhat similar because like same kind of symbols, same colors, same animal, it will look similar. And our brain is like, wait, I've seen this somewhere before. Literally our brain.
And sent them. Seriously, something that petty is a legit excuse for even a big VTuber to
This didn't even make any sense to me. Like, Signal Silver Veil, because I think like the Silver Veil Cinder comparison was really dumb. But since Cinder and Spider both Hellhounds, I found this one dumb too. They don't look anything alike. None of these three look anything alike. I always found this one really dumb.
get upset.
This one, right here. Where was it? The left one was the copied, accusedly copied one. The left one, okay, the middle one is the VTuber, who accused the left one, who was an adoptable, of copying. That's so dumb. This was so dumb. It's not similar design elements doesn't mean it's copied. Just stop.
The most notorious example I can think of is legit the Silver Veil, Spite, and Cinder situation, where it turns out Silver Veil's audience and Silver herself, allegedly, did not like Cinder for having formerly the same design elements to a point of being, allegedly, harassed by said fans. Cinder, in turn, and failing the generational trauma check, also did not like Spite for having the same design elements. A smaller case would be Powder blasting this VTuber Lily for copycatting their white-haired Violet Elf design.
I thought that was dumb too. I don't know if... I think we recently talked about that one too. I don't know, like, I say recently, but it's 12 ago. Like, I don't think they look anything alike. Like, Powder's original model, right? Like, she changed her models now anyway. But, like, I don't think they look anything alike. Like, here, okay, there's, like, the cross on the neck, right? The purple elves. Wow. Just because one person is a purple elf, does that mean no one else can be a purple elf? Question mark. Either way, this is like Water Under the Bridge. This is super old.
Case would be Powder blasting this VTuber Lily for copycatting their white-haired Violet Elf design. People will lambast on other people for looking similar to each other. Small indies tend to do this a lot more than others though. But at the same time, maybe there is some kind of olive branch I can extend to the people that do get copied or do copy. Because look at me, I'm literally named Depressed Nousagi. Even if it was supposed to just be a placeholder, I took that name because I was Pecora's goonest soldier, and I took massive inspirations from Omega Alpha because she embodied everything I liked from a character design perspective and aesthetic. So I'm not necessarily guilt-free from this. But again, this is just minor.
No, but
in the grand scheme of things, the copycat issue is a unique
not the small Lola one.
culture thing, but nothing that I would constitute as a problematic part of the industry. The bigger issue, actually, is that because the industry is smaller, it becomes a much more focused and tenser, connection-oriented space, where these connections become one of your most important assets, sometimes more so than your numbers. But it's a fragile and fickle thing. You can be a nexus of VTubers in one day, then a radiation-heavy zone in the next. Both private and public perception can affect this network, affect what groups you are able to interact with, as well as access to sponsors and resources.
Also true. Very true. Yeah. I can probably like think of 10 of those cases and just like that, you know?
What this means is that if you are not well liked publicly or behind the scenes, or have a fair share of drama on your ass that a particular group in the right spaces may not like, you are effectively barred from certain opportunities.
Crazy.
This can be because you may not align with the girlies, or because you're or because you've unknowingly upset someone higher in the food chain. You'll never be disappointed with how humans react when they get power. While there is that 0.01% of people that will remain humble or largely resistant to abusing that power, the gambling man will always win if they bet that they would, in some sort of way. And when the space is connections-oriented, people, groups, and companies may not be inclined to take people in just because they have big numbers. While this is a problem not unique to VTubing, you know, connections and friends in the right places kind of thing, as it happens in any subsect of the entertainment industry, the unique factors of the space amplify and compound on the matter. Again,
What did Shadow do? Shondo? Honestly, I don't think she did anything wrong. It's just people hating on her because she has a model. By the way, we do need to censor the word because YouTube still doesn't like it. Actually, I found that out recently. Thanks, KoAlan. There's like 3 times we said that now, I think. She exists, yeah. Yeah, basically, she exists. And they hate her for it. I thought it was because of her voice. Yeah, some people also hate her voice, which is also stupid. But yeah, it's like for like many million different reasons. People will just hate you because you exist.
Space dominated by mentally ill women with mentally ill male fans. Many people will find it easy to use the power dynamic to, for example, rob people of opportunities to take for themselves or for their own groups. Call in a favor from a powerful figure to do a little something against someone and make it so that it's not connectable to them. And for the victim, it'll hurt even more. Sometimes, you wouldn't even notice that opportunities aren't going your way anymore. You'll probably have a mental breakdown first on why acquaintances are no longer speaking with you before you even find out. This is not the only harm that comes from the space being smaller. It's also the dark side of competition. I've mentioned in my
Competition is toxic. It can be healthy. It can be, but when it's a space dominated by mentally ill women, it's toxic.
video talking about why VTubing has become so negative, that the desperation that people feel to grow or maintain their size is a big part of the reason why they do things that can be seen as divisive or volatile. That when competition becomes fiercer, people are going to be willing to do less than nice things to others to get to the top, which can include a lot of the relational aggression and backstabbing tactics.
Examples: backstabbing, using peer pressure, spreading rumors, intimidating others, forming cliques, excluding and ostracizing others, establishing rules for anyone who wants to be part of the social group, cyberbullying. Well, if that doesn't sound like VTubers, if that doesn't sound like VTubers, I don't know what does.
I've mentioned earlier, especially if they see a window where it'll be active. But what I didn't mention in that video, because I was saving it for this one, is that the more intelligent variants of these mean girls go about their desperation and insecurity very intelligently. Sometimes, all that trust and venting that you've given to a VTuber can easily get used against you. They'll pretend to be your friend, faking concern for your well-being and advising you to do something that actually works against you.
Bro, it's for real though. Like, how I've seen so often where someone just throws someone else under the bus for nothing. They don't even talk to the person, like trying to verify if the accusations that someone posted are true. They just throw them under the bus and be like, oh my god, I could not believe that they would ever do this. I considered them my friend. Why would they ever do this? Oh my god. Doesn't even talk to them. That's not a friend. That's not a friend. That's someone who used you.
But framing it as positive and manipulating you to think that it's a good thing. Like what this Ian did in the Obsession movie. And you best be aware of this when it comes from peers that you have some kind of similarity to or share the exact type of audience with. And whales. We've seen this kind of VTuber on VTuber violence happen a lot, especially on the medium and big Twitch indie side. Notoriously, the Cindergate situation. And believe me,
Cindergate.
It's not a very uncommon thing to do. Insecurity, envy, or some manner of ego-related hostility is so common in this industry.
Yeah.
And often, that's all it takes for a person you've considered a friend to lie to you, turn on you, and manipulate you whether they realize it or not.
I generally hate how just backstabby people can get. Like, just talk to someone. Why do you just gotta take someone else's word who isn't included, who you don't even know, take their words and say, oh my god, X person did this and they're disgusting. Oh, okay, let me just block them. Like, what? Do you not think? Is there, like, think? Question mark? Do you not do research? Do you not have trust in the person you know? I just can't, man. I just can't.
And the absolute worst thing they can do to you, beyond the rumor mongering and the relational aggression, is an open attempt on your very career. Again, I have to emphasize, VTubing is small. So any medium to large scale cancellation attempt is going to be seen by anyone that aren't Hololive or Nijisanji only viewers. Even if they're a different type of audience, or that they only know the rough details, it's still enough to form a negative impression on you and thus affect your brand negatively. Of course, the obvious example of this is the Saikuno and the Cindergate situation again, which most people see not as warnings that the authors say it is, but actual exposés.
If you've been here forever, you know that I covered the Cinder stuff, but at this point, I really don't care about it anymore. As I've mentioned this before, I really don't care about it. If you like Cinder, that's great. If you like Shellily, that's great. If you like Bao, that's great. I don't care if you like or don't like someone. I don't have the energy or the time to actively dislike a VTuber just because they acted like a high school mean girl. I just don't have the energy for that.
On people's career, a brutal punishment and sentencing that most likely does not actually fit their crimes. And while we can argue all we want about who was in the right or who was in the wrong in both situations, I've made 2 videos about these topics already, the ultimate point here is that even flawed attempts are more than enough to form a negative impression on your brand. It's more than enough to irrevocably sever huge chunks of your network and your friendships, even if you somehow maintain your audiences or your numbers. And while yes, this does carry a risk for the accuser's credibility, the truth is, whatever repercussion they'll face for a flawed attempt isn't going to be commensurate. In the streaming and entertainment industry, whoever strikes first usually has the upper hand.
This is actually facts. This is so facts, because people will make up their mind. Because people are lazy. They see one thing. This goes back to the entire friend discussion too. People will see something, make up their mind, don't do research and just go with it. And they form their opinion. And you know what? I heard something that it takes 7 different impressions. It takes 7 good impressions to delete a bad impression.
Usually gets seen more and usually gets, more favors. That's just how people are. Most people would rather be told who the enemy is rather than figure things out for themselves.
Yeah.
After all, that's not what they came here for.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people still hate Cinder, by the way. Literally, that's why a lot of people still don't like Cinder.
And in this space, often the bully can wield more power, whether that be because more people are willing to ignore it due to their sheer size and clout, fearing them, or because they'd rather believe that their Oshi/friend is a saint or something, right? By the way, that in of itself is a huge fucking problem. VTuber fans are incredibly easily manipulated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into that later. VTubing really is no different than a high school setting. With a bunch of guys fawning, clawing, and fighting for girls, it's just the kind of space that naturally forms when the major players are the way that they are. So that's one aspect of the mean girl problem in VTubing, the mean part. Now let's get to the girl part.
Oh god, oh no, oh god, women, coffee emoji. Can I get the coffee emoji in chat? What was the emote called again? Women? Women. Women.
A girl's girl is a woman who genuinely supports, celebrates, and stands by other women.
So a girl that goes yes girl, you go get that bag, yeah, girl, slay.
Hololive, we see such powerful examples of this because Hololive actually does a good job.
Is that it? I might be wrong.
Picking up women that aren't goddamn petty, starts drama, or schizo tirades.
Maybe I'm wrong. Let's look at a girl who has respect for female etiquette. A girl who is not petty and strives to be ethical and decent in her dealings with female. Oh, never mind. It's actually someone good. It's actually a good girl. Okay.
Girl is a woman who genuinely supports, celebrates, and stands by other women.
Got it.
In Hololive, we see such powerful examples of this because Hololive actually does a good job.
First one I can think of is Madara.
Picking up women that aren't goddamn petty, starts drama, or schizo tirades. Their management also being proactively preventative also helps. What's that meme? Women are more likable under oppressive moral codes or something?
What? Crazy.
And while it's funny, it's
true.
Not necessarily true. It's not the reason why Hololive VTubers seem more professional. But there's a reason why even this sentiment, if only just more nuanced or worded more accurately, is a sentiment that many fans may low-key agree. Because in the indie side of things, these measures are not available. It's often up to the...
Yeah, often the girls can be really unfiltered. Once they let loose, they let loose.
Girls' own professionalism and personalities to keep themselves in check. Not just in public, but also in private. So what happens when is not self-aware that she's a or knows that she but wants to say not to be. Well, that's where women use their curse technique called emotional manipulation. I brought up
What is this? What was that animation?
the whole relational aggression thing earlier, and now this concept of being a girl's girl because I wanted to make a point that a lot of VTubers mask being like these to really sabotage or plan something backstabby.
Bro, it's not all women, but it's always a woman. You know what I mean? Like, I've had my fair share of women like that in my life, too. In fact, I had, like, a best friend like that. And then she just, like, pretended that I just hated her. It's like, and also, like, when I tried to, like, reach out to her and ask, like, what's up, and she's like, I've always talked to you about this. I've always... No, you haven't. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Like, what? You always hate me and I always tell you about these... No, I even helped you so many times. What do you mean? I don't know. It's hurtful, man. It's hurtful. That shit was like, I don't know, like 3 years ago. I don't know, man. But like also when growing up, I just okay, thanks. Also when growing up, there were just like a girl I was like best friends with during school, and like during multiple years, and then like suddenly after like one, I don't know, like fall vacation or something, she just like swapped entirely. I just don't, man. I just don't, man. I have a lot of like these examples in my life. I guess I don't know. I guess I'm just not the average woman, and that's why women hate me, because I'm not the average woman. I don't know. Maybe she read some weird thing on the internet. No. Because it was in school. What do you mean?
Sometimes, they even use therapy speak to attempt to manipulate or confuse the public and their victims. And I think this happens a little way too much. Yakireso is a very notorious example of this. A person that uses relational aggression to coerce people, which even included their own roommate/editor, and also their friend Deputy Aru, to doing what they want. Gossiping, manipulating, and a whole lot of typical behavior, and she was one of the rising stars. People genuinely liked her. She only got caught because she was stupid, to be honest. Sisterhood and solidarity
I don't even know who that
in the
is.
form of collabs and shoutouts are easily used as a gun.
I don't like sisterhood, man. Like, what do you mean? Just because you're a woman, I need to support you because I'm also a woman? I don't like that. Can I just support you because I like you as a person? You know what I mean?
Guys under competition. Attempts to steal viewers and whales, especially if they start DMing said whales. I know who you are. They attempt to integrate themselves like a lamprey into a friend group or other people's events to broadcast or promote themselves. Because when you think about it, VTubing is the prime environment for this backstabby behavior.
Women.
A place with low accountability but high visibility. An anonymous place where the tools are easily accessible to spread some bullshit. And a space that also gets you a simping, almost retardedly loyal audience. In a space like this, the smartest manipulators can stand toe-to-toe in terms
What is this animation?
of reach and clout with the most genuine creators, to a point that we wouldn't even necessarily know or will realize too late who it is. All of this is then lastly multiplied by the fact that VTubing is a roleplay heavy scene. Anonymity,
An
inherent side effect of anime role-playing, can be weaponized. Mean girls are able to get away with it if they get caught once. Start an entirely new brand with a separate
Oh my god, who was this? Cha-Cha Chilla? What's her name? Oh my god, man.
friend group.
No.
Maybe have your voice be an
Elfin Psyop, wasn't that? Or was it someone else? No, that was someone else. That was someone else. Never mind. That was... Speaking of Elfin Psyop, she's on TikTok now. What was this person's name? I forgot.
octave lower and get used to it so you don't get caught or some bullshit. It's just way too easy. People like Cha-Cha Chilla, aka Bunny Alice,
Gunpai, that's the one.
is very notorious for this, undergoing multiple personas every time she gets caught in a bad situation.
That's insane, by the way.
Gunpai is an even more notorious example, a mentally ill GFE VTuber
Elfin is touching grass. We should leave her be. She's making TikTok videos. She's not touching grass. She's an entire TikTok account. It's still making content, but not as a VTuber anymore.
who is all sorts of insane. And more recently, this girl Sumi, who recently got into
I saw this. Oh my god. This was petty.
a controversy for and whining about why Shy Lily blocked her. notoriously having 18 plus account name changes to dodge past controversy, and
Insane.
also had a major allegation under her belt, such as harassing other content creators for copying her and copying people herself. Their infamous deeds are covered by other channels, so I suggest you view those.
Insanity.
These are negative byproducts of the industry's roleplay heaviness
What the heck is this game?
and the anonymity that goes along with it. Whereas it's easy to hold IRL streamers accountable for bullshit they did, or easily track and warn people
He just wanted a cupcake.
about them when they try to do a comeback or rebrand, in VTubing, it's a lot more difficult. Because not everyone pays attention to everyone, and people have a memory of a goldfish. And I think people started getting tired of all of this mean girl drama and
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
behavior because of the Cindergate situation. That drama was a nuke. Even after the explosion had settled, the radiation still remained 1 year later. I think the number of people involved in that drama, the sheer pettiness displayed that respected indies and supposed professionals, and the kind of information we shouldn't have known about as audiences, really disillusioned a lot of people, regardless on whether you were Team Cinder or Team Shylily, because it was a situation where low-key everyone kinda sucked.
Yeah, everyone was wrong. Like, that's my opinion on it. Everyone is wrong and it could have been avoided by just talking to each other. This is why I don't care about it anymore. Like, just moving on, you know?
A lot of people did not need to involve themselves in that thing. And why a lot of fan bases of the entire scene were also taking part of this some holy crusade in the name of their anime women. I know and agree that we should hold people accountable here, but holy I say it's radioactive because it didn't just affect the fan bases and the VTubers that were involved in that drama, it spread throughout the mainstream, spreading the miasma of doubt, planting a seed of criticality against any and all VTubers that they may not be as professional, smart, and good-willed as they paint themselves to be.
Yeah.
Google Dockies were long recognized before as a mainstay, but was really only solidified as a cultural phenomenon in the industry because of this drama. To me, it's okay if my Oshi is not wholesome or smart or is not a good role model. It's not your job to be a good role model as a content creator.
Yeah, we're entertainers, we're not role models. To be fair, people will also see us as role models, which I don't think we should be seen as. In the end, we are entertainers, we are streamers. I don't think a streamer makes generally speaking, there's exceptions, but generally, streamers shouldn't be seen as a role model. I couldn't care less about all the drama, I just want to watch the VTubers so like, yeah, very fair, very fair. Like Kitsu, she's not wholesome. If I use Kitsu as a role model, I'd be in jail? What do you mean?
It's to entertain. People shouldn't look up to any VTubers as paragons of goodwill.
Yeah.
But they want to be, for some reason. Or perhaps not. Perhaps it's not them that wants to be seen that way, but the fans insist that they do.
Bro, is this the Minecraft music? Why is Minecraft music so chill?
Fans that glaze their Oshis a little too hard, paint an exaggerated picture of sainthood that only a true simp is able to do. That they are where they are because they
I'd rather have a wild raccoon as a role model than some streamers.
Damn!
are good people. They deserve to be where they are because of their character. Putting them in a pedestal that makes them seem uncritiquable, using their disability, their mental illness, or gender or minority status to deflect criticism.
I hate that. But that's not only a VTubing thing, and not only a streaming thing. This is sorry, hiccups. This is generally something that should be frowned upon. A person should be judged for their actions, and not for whatever label they are wearing.
And maybe that's the ultimate reason why there's so many mean girls. Beyond the faults of the VTubers in the industry itself, maybe it's because of us too. Maybe it's because, as fans, we enabled this. People would rather defend them if they make mistakes rather than provide even constructive criticism.
Yeah, I guess VTuber fans are just a little bit more parasocial, so you know, it does make a bit sense. It does make some sense here.
And such a hug-boxy space only encourages bad actors to provide criticism that is far from constructive. People would rather flatter their ego and validate emotions or actions that shouldn't have been. People would rather protect their platform, not their integrity. People have simped too much. Our favorite
Sims too close to the sun.
VTubers come from all walks of life. Nerds who got bullied for being a nerd, bullies
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
who picked in high school, normal
Yep.
people who just found the concept interesting, disabled or physically/mentally ill people who saw VTubing as a viable career path.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
All these walks can eventually develop the kind of mean girly behavior that we've seen over the years. Some more than others, sure, but we have seen disabled VTubers be a mean girl. We have seen normal people
Also
who
true.
get corrupted and let their ego take over. We have seen bullies who got worse. We have seen nerds become the very thing that they used to hate.
Also true.
It ties back to what I said in the middle of this video. You'll never be disappointed with how humans react when they get power. So perhaps it's our reaction that we also may need to look out for when we see these behaviors. We need to be gentle yet firm, constructive yet critical, loving in a way that will also ground our Oshi to the earth. The kind of affection that cares about how they are rather than who they are.
Great video, bro. Great video. Great video. Bao, the VTuber situation is worse than you think. Bao removed the VTuber label from... I heard some people say that Bao is no longer a VTuber. I got no idea about that. I heard some things, but I don't care. I don't care enough. Anyway, good video. Enjoyed it. The press Nousagi, always great, entertaining, always good. Either way, see you in the next video.